You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Lieutenant, living their truth. Or, if you're American, Lieutenant, living their truth. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Narcissists have a coterie and also have lieutenants. The lieutenants are those individuals that are particularly loyal to the narcissist in terms of doing what the narcissist requires. Sometimes this is as a consequence of the narcissist threatening the lieutenant to do this or else, offering them some kind of inducement or reward. But often, the lieutenant acts of their own volition. The narcissist will talk about something and they decide that they will act on the narcissist's behalf, invariably with the narcissist's approval, sometimes given direct instructions, often acting indirectly after the narcissist planting a seed in the lieutenant's head. Harry's wife, as we know, doesn't have any friends. She doesn't have any friends because, as a narcissist, she is incapable of forming an actual genuine connection with anybody. People who have the status of friend are a non-intimate secondary source, and like anybody in the fuel matrix, they are there simply for the purposes of being controlled, providing fuel, ensuring that they are going to provide character traits, and, of course, residual benefits. The friend is there to be used. The friend is there to be taken off the shelf, accessed, and then put back on at the appropriate point. Of course, an unaware narcissist does believe that they have friends, but we know, as a consequence of my dissection of the relationship and dynamic, that it is one of using that individual and isn't a genuine friendship. Of course, the narcissist may well be very pleasant to a friend, do things for a friend, offer favours, etc., but this is all self-serving. It's only done because it actually assists the narcissist in some shape or form. The fact is, the narcissist will only engage because it provides the narcissist with what they require, i.e. the prime aims. And here, the lieutenant, Gail King, has been rolled out. Evidently, as a consequence of Harry's wife running short on actual people who will speak on her behalf, she utilises Gail King, and an article from page 6 by Nikki Gostin tells us, Gail King says her pals, Prince Harry and Harry's wife, are in a good place after the renegade royal released his controversial memoir about his family earlier this year. Well, it's so important for us to be told this news 3 months after it came out, but there you are. I think that Harry and Harry's wife are living their truth, and I think they will make their best decisions for themselves, she told Page 6 at the Stating the Obvious gala this week. Oh no, Time 100 gala. Of course, her role is there to support them, to reinforce the fact of Harry's wife and her living in her truth and living her truth and speaking her truth. Something, of course, that particular narcissists of a mid-range variety go in for regularly. There is accuracy, of course, when she says that, because the narcissist operates within their version of a truth. What you understand to be the truth is not always accessed by the narcissist. Sometimes it is, because the truth as you understand it to be can also serve our purposes also. An example of that is, for instance, Piers Morgan, who is a narcissist, criticising Harry's wife. He does so because it serves his purposes as a narcissist, but he's using the truth about her behaviour for the purposes of asserting control over her. Similar in the way that I do. I use the truth of her behaviour that you also recognise for the purposes of dissecting that behaviour for the creation of these videos, which also serve the purpose of the prime aims. Harry's wife uses a version of the truth, which is her version as seen through her lens. But as we've seen repeatedly, there is a divergence between what she sees as the truth and what everybody else sees. Frequently, they are strangers to one another. And therefore, what happens is that her narcissism uses this rather grandiose idea of she has a truth and you lot don't know it. I have a truth when in actual fact they're lies, but they are the truth to her. What actually happens is her narcissism convinces her that what she has to say is the truth. It's her truth. And just because you may not agree with that, well, ultimately, that's your problem and not hers. And this is being regurgitated by the lieutenant to demonstrate that somehow their truth is superior to the truth. She continues, "I think they're very solid," the CBS Mornings co-host continued, adding, "They don't consult me about their own decisions. Why would they, Gail?" Showing some grandiosity yourself there. They make their own decisions, and so far they're doing what works and what's best for them. Reading between the lines, one thinks that you protest too much, and in actual fact that they do tell you things. They don't consult with you, but they tell you things, Gail, that they want you to put out there, and you're trying to say, "Oh, I'm not a mouthpiece for them. I'm not a spokesperson for them," when actually you are. King, 68, has been a long-time friend and supporter of the royal couple, Lieutenant, having met them through her best friend, Oprah Winfrey. She was one of the guests at Harry's wife's baby shower in 2019 when the Duchess was pregnant with Prince Archie. On air, the anchor revealed that a good time was had by all. That's what I'll say. It was a very, very small private affair and just a very special time for her. Bringing up the past. She defended the couple in 2022 when Andy Cohen jokingly called the Shitflix series Harry and Harry's Wife a reality show. "It's not a reality show," King retorted. "It's not," once again demonstrating her lieutenant credentials to defend them. Accordingly, this is demonstrative of Gayle King being rolled out as a lieutenant to tell us not very much other than that they're in a good place, that they're very solid, and that they're living their truth. It's more propaganda that's being issued by Harry's wife for the purposes of the pursuit of the prime aims, and Gayle King gladly subscribes to that role. What about observations below the line? Charles Stockdale observes, "The term their truth, like any words that suggest truth is personal and subjective, reflects, I think, a relatively recent attempt by the left to undermine long-standing values that recognise truth as objective and therefore immutable." Catherine Stewart responds to that, "I know I've had conversations with family members who remember outings, parties, weddings, etc. quite differently than I did. Perhaps I drank more wine than they did, but the truth is usually a stone-cold fact. She has out and out liked so many times, so I do understand her truth is whatever she makes up at the time. That is correct." Of course, people's recollections of events, however honest, often vary because memory is fallible, and also people do have differing perspectives. So people can recall an event quite differently, but they're doing so honestly. With Harry's wife, her recall of events is influenced by the effect of her narcissism, geared towards always getting the prime aims. I Am Anonymous states, "Unfortunately, we all have to live their truth, but give them privacy." Really responds, they really don't want privacy. Okay, adds, "King likes to hear the sound of her own voice. Her opinion of herself is much higher than the one held by those of us grounded in reality." Legal Brendon states, "King is kissing royal butt, and I don't want to hear the grifter's truth, but there is no running away from it, as it's broadcast to us frequently." Cat Moore, "The article says King has been a long-time friend of the couple. That's pretty funny, as it's been a whole 3 or 4 years. Hardly a long time. All Harry's wife's friends came after she wed Harry." Ditzy Chick, "Their truth is like Trump's alternative facts. Neither have anything to do with reality. Authenticity does not exist in their world either. Happy she's staying away. Wish he would do as well." Tina, "The elite scratching each other's back. Could you explain the false accusations of racism in the Oprah Winfrey interview? Yes, the accusations that destroyed the British royal family's reputation." BK, "Why do people use the term their truth or my truth? That is not the truth. It's just another way of lying and twisting the truth." Well, those individuals would do well to watch my video, The Truth, the Half-Truth and Nowhere Near the Truth, to understand why it is that narcissists, which of course is what Harry's wife is, do behave in that way of talking about their truth. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.